Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host Steven and thank you so much for tuning in. I've been a lifelong Star Wars fan as far back as I can remember. I remember being a little kid, being about 9 years old when it came out. Went to the theater. I was old enough to go to the theater, and I sat there. And the minute it said "a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away," and the Imperial ship went on for it seemed like an eternity for me the first time. I was teleported to a galaxy far, far away. And I believed in my heart of hearts that there are Jedi Knights out there, there are smugglers, there are bounty hunters, there's a princess out there. I believed it wholeheartedly. I was brought into that world. I was sucked in. George Lucas did one of the most impossible things ever. He brought me into that world of Star Wars, and I've been stuck there for many, many years. I've loved and hated over the years, like most people, especially lately. And of course, the biggest news of this Star Wars thing is that Kathleen Kennedy is finally stepping away from being the president of Lucasfilms. And we have now Dave Filoni taking over with Lynwen Brennan, forgive me if I'm saying the name wrong, as co-presidents of Lucasfilm. So Filoni will mostly be for the creative aspect, and Brennan will be for the business side. Each, I guess, have their strengths. How do I feel about it? Well, I mean, first with Kathleen Kennedy, I mean, if we look at her resume, the films that she's been behind, E.T., Jurassic Park, Back to the Future trilogy, The Color Purple, Schindler's List, you name it. She was executive producer, associate producer, something. She had a talent, she had a knack at that job, but doesn't mean you can be great at another job. And I think as president of Lucasfilm, she kind of stumbled there. I mean, we've seen the Indiana Jones film. No one really cared for it. It bombed. It's the first Indiana Jones film to bomb at the theater and not make money. Solo bombed, although I like that movie. I think it deserves a lot more love. I think it was released at the wrong time. I don't think people were ready for someone to replace Harrison Ford, but that's a whole other story. The Acolyte I didn't like. Season three of the the Mandalorian was a little weak. But if we're gonna blame her for the status, if we look at the trilogy, I mean, you can see nothing was really mapped out, and they just made it up as they went along. I think even J.J. Abrams said he didn't see the next two films what they were going to be about, and the third one was just fixing the second one. So she stumbled, and that's a given. But if we're going to look at it, let's be objective. She did do some wins for Star Wars. The Mandalorian season 1 and 2, I think, are strong, and they were probably the most exciting things that Star Wars had to offer in a long, long time. I know the first two seasons I was hooked, and I was really happy to see this show. I kept looking forward to it. I even bought the Blu-rays. I have the sets, and I'll go back to it from time to time. Andor, let's be honest, is probably the one of the best written Star Wars series ever since the original trilogy. This thing is fantastic. Anybody who's seen it loves it, and for good reason. It's just well acted, well written. The effects are great. Everything is done impeccably well. So when they want to do it, it seems they can do it. It's just finding that project that everybody's on board that they seem to have a hard time. But back to Kathleen Kennedy. Now stepping away from it, let's be honest. She has done some good. Like I said, The Mandalorian season 1 and 2 are good. Andor is good. The rest, she stumbled, and let's be okay. And I'm okay with it. She's now stepping away. Filoni, part of the Clone Wars, which is arguably the greatest Star Wars, one of the best things from Star Wars ever. Anybody who grew up watching it, I knew I watched it with my daughter every Friday. It would be movie night, basically. We called it movie night, and we had pizza, chicken wings, and Star Wars. And watching that series get better and better as it went along was a sheer joy. Watching my daughter get enthralled into Star Wars and being excited. To me, being excited again watching Star Wars. In the beginning, I said an animated series, and let's be honest, the first season of Star Wars is very much for children. So I was kind of like, oh, this is going to be only for kids. But as it moved on, it went farther and darker into the lore of Anakin and everything, which made it exciting. So, with that being said, Kathleen Kennedy, she had her turn, she had her time. It didn't do as well as we all hoped. Filoni, I mean, people are saying it's going to be the greatest era now. We don't know. We thought for sure with Kennedy it's going to be fantastic. Because all the movies she's been involved with, she has the know-how to get it off the ground. And she couldn't do it. We'll have to wait and see. And I mean, he's there now, but I mean, I'm sure there's projects that Kennedy is still involved in. So I'm assuming the next 2 years, he's really just going to oversee things. And then his creative side will come out and we'll see. I don't think it's going to be right away. I think it's going to be very short bursts and not right away. I think it's going to be later on. I think at least the 2026 is mostly still what Kathleen Kennedy has put into motion. And he's now just going to oversee it and see that it goes as good as it can go. So I just want to say to Kathleen Kennedy or anybody who knows her, I guess you tried your best. You just realized that that's not your job. You're a great producer and you're untouchable in that realm. But I'm glad you kind of stepped down. I think we need some new blood. Star Wars is arguably one of the greatest franchises ever created, and it's the one that's in, I think, the most trouble and needs an uplift. It needs a rejuvenation. And I'm hoping Filoni and Brennan are going to be the guys that do it. I love Star Wars. If you guys need help, I'm available. I know Star Wars is like the back of my hand. I've been at it since I'm 9 years old, so it's over 50. It's 50 years now. So I mean, I know a lot about it. So if you need help, I'm willing to do it. But that's me. So Kathleen Kennedy, I'm glad you did what you did. There were some wins, there were some losses. I think the losses were more than the wins, unfortunately, and I thought it would be the opposite way. But it is what it is. So I'm looking forward to this new era. Hopefully the Filoni Brennan era will be something a little better, because I think as Star Wars fans, we want something better. And we deserve, I think this generation of children deserve to be given what I was given as a child, this escape. I went to a galaxy far, far away. And sometimes I was a Jedi, sometimes I was a smuggler, sometimes I was a bounty hunter, sometimes I was a droid. And I had the greatest time escaping for an hour and a half into these worlds. And I think we owe it, especially in these dark times, for our children to have an escape as well. And Star Wars is a great way to escape. And I think we need something, and I hope Filoni is the guy to do it, to bring back that magic that Lucas brought to the big screen. And that's my take on it. You let me know what you think. You're happy Kennedy's gone. You wish she'd stick around. You think she failed miserably. I think she had a couple of wins here and there. That's me. Share your thoughts with us. I'd love to hear from you. This is Steve from the Roundtable with my thoughts on Kathleen Kennedy stepping down and Filoni Brennan taking over. And I'll be seeing you in the future, guys.